Hi guys, I'm Danny and welcome back to On the Fence. I'll get to the football in a minute. First, I just want to say that Manchester United fans, not all of them, of course, only what I heard on Sky Sports, probably a minute section of Man United fans. You're all a bunch of fucking scumbags, absolute cunts, a lot of you. Chatting about Hillsborough. Why would anybody in their right mind go and watch a football match and chant about death at a football match? You know, especially considering there was a minute applause for a fella who's obviously entrenched in obviously Man United's history and stuff like that. You've got the Munich disaster. There's and then there's obviously Hillsborough and things like that. Why would you take the piss out of a fucking a disaster at a football match, especially knowing that the fans were not to blame? We know this now after all the things have come out. I'm not going to go into it, of course, because that's not really my jurisdiction. But how fucking dare you take the piss out of people dying at a football match, 95, 96 fans being unlawfully killed at a football match, and you've got the audacity to sit there and take the piss like it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's really not a joke. It's not. And you think you're fucking mad and you aren't. Bunch of mank twats, the lot of you. Onto the football anyway. Liverpool 0-0 against Manchester United at Old Trafford. It was a shit game, to be honest. Built up once again by Sky Sports as if it's going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it just wasn't. The biggest talking point was, Man United having to make 3 substitutions in the first half, which, yeah, of course, when you make substitutions early and they're not in your plans, that will affect the game. But Manchester United had more than enough quality on the pitch at the end of the game to see off Liverpool, or to get a good result anyway. So I don't buy into this whole narrative of, oh, Man United did the best, they're so valiant, this is all they could have done against Liverpool. It's not. They've got millions and millions and millions of pounds worth of actual talent on the football pitch. And just because they're underperforming, it doesn't mean that that's a situation that they're in. They are better than they are playing at the minute. Do you know what I mean? The way they're playing at the moment, their players are better than that, and their players should really stand up and be counted. Similar to Chelsea, the way the Chelsea players aren't really playing for the manager necessarily. And the way Arsenal players weren't playing for Arsene Wenger, players have got to be held accountable as well. It's not just the manager that's got to get the tune out of the players. Players need to want it too. And fair enough, they're unfortunate that they've had 3 injuries and stuff like that in the first half. One of them was obviously a substitution they already made to bring Lingard on. But to be honest, if you're going to bring Lingard on instead of Sanchez, knowing that Lingard's not fully fit, and Sanchez is on 400 grand a week or something like that, then it's your own fault, to be honest, as a manager. If you're not making the right decisions, then that falls on you. Do you know what I mean? But as much as there was a lot of negatives in this game because Liverpool were shocking, and it's so crazy, it's so bittersweet because we were so poor and we should have done so much better in the game in the final third, especially. But we've come out with a point and we're still top of the league, and we're level on games now and a point ahead of Manchester City. So it's in our hands. We are in control of this title race at the minute. But it would have been nice to go and at the start, even coming into this game, with all the momentum towards United and stuff like that, it would have still been great to come in and just trounce them 3-0, 4-0, whatever, even a 1-0, a shitty 1-0 last minute of the game. That would have been fine as well. But to come out of it with a point at Old Trafford, it's a good result, let's be honest. Just in the context of the game, it's not, because we had so many opportunities there to do something. Salah was poor, really poor. He deserved to go off. Mane was really poor as well, but we were using him a lot in the game. That's why I understood why he was on. Firmino's a big blow. I think he'll be okay. We've all had them injuries before when you pass the ball or you're running and you just land awkwardly on the outside of your ankle. Sometimes it can be worse, but it looks like, because he was running on it before he went off, it looks like he'll be okay. He might miss Watford, but he should be back for Everton next week. So that's okay. Yeah, I think Henderson had a very good game, but and our midfield, our midfield were probably the better of the two. United tried to sit back all game and just hit us on the counter at home, which, it's a bit... It's what I understood United to do. I was expecting them to do it anyway. They were probably more asked about trying to stop us scoring, of course, because of our front three and our attack and everything about Liverpool. They were scared of us, and that's fine because they've been scared of us, and teams will be scared of us. Everybody except for probably Manchester City are scared of us, and they have to alter their game plans to stop us playing. And that's fine. Like, I take a lot of heart in that. Opposition fans might, argue the point and chat a lot of shit and whatever, but I really don't care. Especially if your fans are scumbags and chant for they chant and laugh about people dying at a football match. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely abhorrent, and you should be banned for life if you're laughing at people dying at a football match. If you can honestly sit there and chant what they chanted, which I heard it loud and clear. The cameras on Sky Sports picked it up as well. So even if you want to deny it, it's there on live television, plain and clear to see. It'll probably be all over Twitter tonight anyway. It probably already is now. I haven't checked Twitter. I don't really care much for Twitter because you're going to have all these fucking knobheads on Twitter anyway. But my final point on it is, if you want to sit there and laugh at a tragedy at a football match where people have died, especially considering Manchester United have had their own tragedy, that's stupid. That is, I can't even find the word for it. What is the word? It's disgraceful. As a fan base, if you weren't involved in that and you were in that section, you should have condemned that straight away, because the verses of the song they sang kind of went on a few times, and it happened multiple times. And if you were in the end of that stadium when you were hearing people chanting about a death at a football match, then you should have cut that out. You know what I mean? Boo, hiss, whatever, drown the noise out, because it makes you all look like dickheads, and you'll all get tarred with the same brush. And that's what I'm doing right now. To be fair, this is an instant reaction to when I heard it. I mean, it happened in the first half. I've had a bit of time, but I'm absolutely fuming, and it's not even because I'm a Liverpool fan, because I have no affiliation to Hillsborough, because I wasn't there. I'm 22 years of age. I had no family. Luckily, I had no family who were involved in the Hillsborough disaster. I've got no affiliation to Manchester United, so I've got nobody in my family or that I knew, or anyone that I cared for in the Munich air disaster either. Do you know what I mean? So these are things that they don't relate to me because I weren't there. I wasn't alive when these things happened. But I still know what's right and what's wrong. I wouldn't go to an opposition ground. I wouldn't go to my own ground, anybody's ground, anywhere. I wouldn't go anywhere and chant and take the piss out of the fact that someone's died. That's fucking dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And you all need to take a long, hard look at yourselves, because that's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. A pathetic excuse of human beings if you want to take the piss out of somebody dying. People die every day. And if you want to sit there and laugh at it, well, do you know what I mean? Like, people in your lives are going to die too, and you're going to be sad then, aren't you? You know what I mean? And it's just, you want to sit there and laugh at other people dying. Absolutely unacceptable, really unacceptable. And you deserve to be rejected in everything you do in life. That's all I got to say about that. You can tell there wasn't much to talk about on the pitch because it finished 0-0. I mean, we're still top of the league. We're a point ahead of City now. City are playing, I think, as we speak. I'm going to watch that, or it might be 4:30 kickoff in the Carabao Cup. So that'll be good watching, really. Manchester best players are all injured, and Liverpool still couldn't do nothing about it. So remind me, who are your best players? Ander Herrera, well, he's shit. Jesse Lingard, he's quite good. Yeah, fair enough. You still had Rashford on the pitch, and he seemed all right to me. Lukaku, it was your big money signing for nearly £100 million. You'd had Paul Pogba on the pitch. I'm sure he was fine. Who else? Ashley Young's probably one of your best players as well. He was fine to me. David De Gea is your best player, absolute best player, and he was fine as well. Alexis Sanchez, on 350 grand a week, he was fine too, mate. So, you can argue the toss all you want, but, you've got millions and millions of pounds worth of talent on the pitch, and, you still shit yourselves to Liverpool Football Club. Concerning you've talked all this shit for years and years about how yous are better than us, Liverpool are shit and stuff, you shit yourselves to Liverpool. You changed your entire game plan just to suit. You got your old manager and Alex Ferguson to come and do a team talk for you. You had Vidic visiting the training ground trying to talk your whole team up, and it didn't work because you still shit yourselves. Rashford was injured, and to be honest, Rashford might have been injured, but he was running fine at certain times. But it's one of them, isn't it? Like I said, I did say injuries would play a part, and I did say that obviously it's a shame for you and stuff, but you still had enough players on the pitch. You still finished the game with 11, and you still had some of your better players there. To say your best players went off injured, Mata, he's been on the fringes for about 2 years at Manchester United, and the Herrera is just a shithouse who just kicks people. And he probably could have, to be honest, if he'd have stayed on the pitch, he might have been sent off in the end, because he should have been yellow carded for the foul on Matip. And then he probably would have gone the whole game on a yellow card. So it's probably a blessing that Ander Herrera went off anyway. But yeah, like I said, as for Jesse Lingard, he's a good solid player, and he was a miss. But you still got more than enough players to deal with Liverpool. So I don't buy into this narrative of United's injuries have cost them in this game or anything like that, or the disallowed goal or whatever. So that's just the way it is, mate. But yeah, Liverpool still top of the league, back up top of the league anyway. We've got a tough week this week. We've got Watford at home. Watford are a good side playing good football. That's going to be a test for us. And then on Sunday, in a week from now, we'll play against Everton at Goodison Park, which I will be going to. I will be in the home section right next to the away fans. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be a fun one to see what happens. How many shots on target did Liverpool get? I'm not too sure, but how many points have Liverpool got and how many points have United got? I really don't care about one game. Out of context, Liverpool are top of the league, mate, and that's fine. So, if you want to compare your whole season to how many shots Liverpool got on target, we're top of the league and you're fighting for fourth against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So it's fine. Liverpool coming up to a crucial week and maybe a week and a half because we've still got Bayern Munich in the Champions League, which is something to look forward to. Of course, I'm visibly frustrated because of what's obviously just happened in that game. Not on the pitch. Off the pitch was disgraceful, diabolical. And yeah, on the pitch wasn't really much better. I think, our front three was really off and, United's back four had a bit of quite an easy game, to be fair. We did cut through them a few times, but, we were not at our best one little bit. And obviously, do you want to try and compare their defence to an off the boil Liverpool front three? So shows how good we are if, they take that as a real moral victory. If Liverpool players aren't playing at their best, that's fine. But look, I take heart in the fact that we've gone to Old Trafford and we've got a draw. We've took 4 points off them this season, which is great because you look at when United used to win the league a long time ago. They used to take 4 points off their rivals, and look at Chelsea when Mourinho went there and won the league. They take 4 points off their rivals. You know what I mean? They'd win at home and they'd make sure they didn't get beat away, and that's a great way of doing it. But we've got a few big games left still from now to the end of the season. Like I said, Everton coming next week away, which is going to be really tough because they're going to want to do similar to this, what United tried to do today. We've still got Spurs at home and Chelsea at home as well. So, as well as mixed in with other fixtures, and the other fixtures are still just as hard because it's the Premier League and anything can happen. Anything's possible. But what is possible and what is likely is that Liverpool are going to fight till the very end. And hopefully what is possible is that Liverpool are going to go all the way and win the damn Premier League. That will be absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this was hard to watch at the start because I was very abusive, but I really don't care. Fans of football clubs really need to realise that we all kind of share a common goal, and we all kind of share common threads of football. And you don't take the piss out of death at a football match. That's just a really wrong thing because it speaks for itself. I don't even need to say it. But Man United fans that was chatting about Hillsborough trying to take the piss, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And you know it. You know what I mean. If you try and deny it, then you're just a cunt. So see you later. I've been on the fence. Thank you for watching. Please like the video or unlike it if you're one of them United fans that were chatting shit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you probably midweek for Watford. Take care. And that again.